How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. You know that vertical drawer cabinet I've been trying to build there in the corner? Well, for the most part it's built. Now let's try to set it up and organize it and put stuff in there. Well, I've been messing around a little bit trying to get this little cubby in the corner organized. I just want to show you what I've come up with so far. This is just the first drawer down the side here. Okay, have a look at that. I was planning on putting another shelf up top here, but if you had a loaf of bread that was sliced, wouldn't you think this is the next best thing to the sliced bread? Well, I'm continuing to work on my cabinet here. I got this slide here pretty well filled with fluids, little bottles, spray bottles and things. The center one, there's still nothing on that. And then this one here I set up with just these little cubbies. I have some steak-ons, this junk stored in there, right? I cut a piece of plywood this morning, and this plywood now is going to go on the face of this. So what I want to do is set that up in there, mark it, make sure I get it to fit properly, and then I'll cut out 3 sections to put fronts on each of these sliders. Okay, I spent some time and set this front on and kind of wedged it around here because, believe it or not, this didn't turn out to be perfectly square. Because of the way the slides work, I have to leave a gap at the back here, and that gap's about 1/2 inch. So I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood here as a spacer. Pretty good there. So that worked out all right. So then what I did was, after I had it on there, clamped it, I took my pencil and just marking a line around the perimeter of it. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off and cut it to fit the face. And then once I fit it on the face, then I'll take some measurements to where each of the width of each of the drawers, and cut out slabs off of this big piece and attach it to the drawers. Sounds like a pretty simple job, eh? But it's not going to go good, I can tell. But anyway, that's what we got to do, so let's go do it. So I've got my piece cut for the front now and its size and everything to fit this whole front cabinet. So what I'm up to now is I have to find out how wide to make each face for the drawer. It turns out that everything has to be kind of custom. So I put some 1/2 inch spacers on the wall here because it has to be 1/2 inch out from the wall to allow for these rails and to clear this plug. So that's okay, I get that figured out. The other part I'm struggling with is, because there's a front tab on these bottom rails, it has to be back, the face that goes on this sliding drawer has to be just come up, just not so that this doesn't interfere with it. It's hard to explain. So that means that this drawer here, the face of it can't be more than an 8 1/4. At 8 1/4, the tolerance is very, very tight. It might hit that slider, so I want to make it less than that. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut it 8 1/8. But when I cut it back to 8 1/8, now all of a sudden, when this drawer face is on here, we end up with about 1 inch overhang on the left side of this panel. So that means anything I put on this drawer here can't come within 1 inch of this face. You know, so there's always something, right? So anyway, I think I've taken into account. I'm going to cut these, this face, and we're just going to try it, see what happens. Hey, if it doesn't work, I've got a whole extra sheet of plywood here left to play with. Although I don't like to cut up plywood, but I think this might work out all right. Let's try it anyways. So I've got my fence set up at 8 1/8. We're going to make a cut. Let's do it. Okay, so this should fit right in here, like so. Now that's going to attach to the leftmost drawer, so then this one still slides in and out here okay. The rails here miss this edge, which is what I was concerned about. So that should work out all right. Before we set that one down, I want to measure this now, and this is going to be 8 3/8. No, we're going to make it 8 1/2. 8 1/2. So let's go cut a piece 8 1/2. Okay, here's our second piece. It's going to go here. So that's not going to be very tight against that. There's probably going to be a little bit of a gap. but not much of one. So that still slides in and out. Okay, now if that just stays there long enough, the piece I have left should fit in here, and that's going to be 6 1/8. 6 1/8. Let's go get it and see. It's a little bit inside the edge of the shelf, but that's because the saw cuts here, right? So I think they're going to work. They're going to work out all right, because I'll be leaving a little bit of gap between each one. Whoa, stay up there, you. I'll be leaving a little bit of a gap between each one, so that'll make up for this difference. All right, so that's going to work good. I'm glad I cut those and that they worked out. So I'm trying to figure out where this shelf edge is going to be in relation to my shelf front. So the way I thought I'd do that is I'm going to take just some little finish nails. I'm just going to tap them in here, just 3 of them, just to get a line. Then I'm going to hold that board up to it and just bump it with my hand to make some indentations on the back side of it, and then hopefully that'll show me where to drill some holes. It's a good idea in theory. And then after I mark it, I'll just pull those nails out, of course. So we're going to put that up there. Check to make sure that it's where we need it to be. And if you can see there, I've got a mark right there. I've got a mark right there, and I have a mark right there. And those marks are in the center of this shelf. So I should be able to drill, I'm going to put 5 holes in there with 5 screws. So before I go any further, just so that I don't forget, I'm going to pull these nails out now. So I need to put a little piece in next to the wall here, and I've done that. I've cut it out of hemlock, of course. Set that in place. I put my holes down the edge of this first piece. The one I put at the top, it was too close to the top. I didn't have enough shelf material to screw into, so there's a mistake right there. So we're going to put this up here, like so. If all my measurements are correct, then this should fit in here just as nice as anything. Okay, that's the first one. Now we're going to do the same with these other 2 and see how it looks. Then we'll probably have to do some tweaking when we're all done with this, right? Make it look really good. So we're just setting the last cover on here. All right, we don't need this under here anymore. All right. Doesn't look too bad. This one sticks out at the top. I'm not sure what happened there, but you know what? I think with the humidity that's going to be in the shop, because I plan on heating the shop, but not for a while, these are probably going to twist and turn and come and go, but at least for now, we've got everything closed up. Need to put some handles on here now. So I'm trying to make some pulls now to put on those drawers. So I had a piece of hemlock here. It's 1 inch wide, and it was, well, 1 inch thick, about 1.5 inches wide or something. Set up the saw, put the table saw at 15-degree angle, and just made a couple of rips down here. And then I turned it over and cut that out to make sort of a shape like that. Now I'm setting up here with a round over bit in my router. I'm just going to round over this top, kind of make a try to make a nice little drawer pull out of it. Then I'll cut them to length and attach them to the drawer. So I have my roundover bit set up here. We'll just run that through here and turn over this edge. So I turned that edge a little bit, and I don't really like that profile. I had the bit set too high, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit on the belt sander now. I like that a little better. I think that'll work. Now I'm just going to cut them to length, and then we'll attach them. So I'm going to put those drawer pulls on the bottom part here. So I just had this piece, it's 5 inches or something. So I just held it, put some lines across here so that they'll all line up good. Just to center them now, I suppose, I should find the center of each drawer front. Like the center of this one is 3 inches. The handles that I end up making, I made 2 4-inch ones and 1 3-inch one. So I'll put the 3-inch one on the narrow one. So then I can hold that there on the centers. Doesn't look too bad right there, eh? See if we can make out. That's kind of level, right like that. Not bad, eh? So my corner unit, I think, is just about finished. I mean, it'll get added to and built on, that's for sure, but for now I think she's good to go. I have to say I'm not real pleased with the way these pieces fit together. I need to do a little bit of tweaking, I think, on this back shelf because it's sitting out here a little bit at the top. But you know, from a galloping horse, I don't think you could see that. The handles turned out nice, and the drawers are easy to open, and I've got access here on this slide to all my fluids and oils and whatnot. This is ready for development. As soon as I get some building permits, I'll go at that. And then this one in here, so far I just have some cubbies stuck up there, but you know, there's lots of room in here for adding whatnots too, like, I don't know, a broom or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be good. There's lots of storage in there. I like that. I'm glad we did it. It was a big job, a lot of fussing and farting going on there, you know, getting things lined up, and I didn't really do a good job getting them all lined up. So it needs a little bit more work, but we got time to do that, I bet. So now I wonder if I could qualify as a front man after adding the fronts of my drawers. Haha, get it? Anyways, you know, that was kind of tricky to get those drawer fronts on there to get them to line up so I could put the screws, make sure the screws hit the plywood backing. But it worked out all right. They're on there good and secure, and nice little handles on them too. And now I'm thinking, you know, it looks like I should paint those cabinets. And I don't like painting, but anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think I should paint them? Don't forget, thumbs up me, folks. And have a great week wherever you are. We'll talk to you.